No, I didn't miss one. There were 2 honorable mentions. It said highly commended, and it said highly commended, and then it showed 2 more. One of them was from England, and it was called Wild Summon. And it was literally this creation of the journey of salmon, and it showed this female salmon. But I was actually surprised that it could even be considered, because it was so much of it was real footage of real water and real nature, and then they did a lot of it was CGI basically, and it started off with this dead, dying female salmon, and she had just given birth, and then it shows the children doing what they can do to survive, and then that one of them getting picked up and tagged, so you can see the journey of what a salmon goes through when it goes from where it's born all the way out to sea. And they did this really cool, almost like this, like, it almost looked like a female scuba diver, but like an abstract female scuba diver with this like face on them with like a really big mouth. But it looked like all of their skin was like completely raw, almost like revealing the tendons. And they had these like scuba fins on. And so it showed this like incredible journey. I felt like I was watching almost like a nature documentary, and which was really cool. And there was like times I was like getting upset when certain salmon were being preyed upon, but then I'm like, okay, this is literally, as the Lion King says, the circle of life. But yeah, part of me when I saw it was like, oh, that was really cool, because it ended with hashtag spoiler alert. It ended with them ending where they started. It was like this beautiful cyclical bookend where it's like, then that salmon came back home and gave birth to her salmon, and then she was dying. Like, that I thought was really beautiful. But yeah, what would have been really cool is if there was more actual drawn animation. I don't like how everything's becoming AI and everything's becoming computer generated. It takes the beauty and the art out of it for me, even though of course it's an art form in itself. But I feel like even if they had done the CGI, but they had like mixed styles of animation, and I'm not an animator, so forgive even the way I'm describing this, if they had had like the backgrounds be all painted or drawn, that would be so cool. And then the final one that they showed was this I'm Hip one, about this like hip literal cat that loves jazz, and he's singing this song talking about being hip. And like the animation was cool to watch how it like changed from thing to thing, but it felt very commercial and very basic, and it made me laugh a couple times, but I was like, so, and so anyway, all of them I thought were very, they're all very short. So I highly recommend giving all of them a watch, because, everyone's sentiment is different. But my number one is Our Uniform. I think it's important to tell Middle Eastern people's stories. I think it's important to tell Muslims stories. I think it's important to tell women's stories, and how much religion in particular tries to suppress and control women. So that to me is really, really important. So I really hope that one wins. But like I said, Letter of a Pig, I think that one's going to win, but I don't want it. I don't want it to. I liked it, but as I shared, but I wouldn't mind if either of those won, but I do want Our Uniform to win.